Hello, everybody. Scott Roberts here with Explore Scientific, and this is our latest segment of Explore Now. This program we've interviewed scientists and astronomers from around the country and around the world. And today we have the pleasure of bringing on Rodrigo Zelada from North Optics. Also joining us is Alex Sanchez. Alex Sanchez heads up engineering here at Explore Scientific and will be translating for us. Rodrigo understands a lot of English, but he can explain a lot of things so much better in Spanish, so that's great. And for any Spanish-speaking people joining us tonight, welcome. We are really happy to have you on, Rodrigo. How are you doing tonight?
Hola Scott, yo estoy muy bien esta tarde, muy contento de estar en el programa con ustedes.
Hello Scott, we're very happy to be here with you, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, that's great.
With everybody else.
It's great. I want to just give a little bit of an introduction to Rodrigo. He is his background is in geodesy as a profession in geodesic research and practical applications as it was applied to mining. So Rodrigo, did a lot of work where they would use GPS coordinates and stuff, often working at high altitudes to explore with mining in the mountains in Chile. And, this is the kind of work that is often involved him being away for long periods of time. It involved him, to sometimes be involved in somewhat dangerous work as well. Mining's not exactly a safe occupation. But he has loved astronomy since he was a teenager. Starting at age 15, Rodrigo started becoming fascinated with astronomy and astrophotography pretty much at the same time. So he has been he's been following this hobby for about 25 years. And a few years ago, he was able to start North Optics, which is in La Serena, Chile, which is down the mountain from where the Cerro Tololo Interamerican Observatory is, high above La Serena. La Serena is kind of a city that's more along the ocean there. And when I was there in 2019, we could see La Serena from the top of the mountain, from the foot of the observatories, while we were watching the total eclipse of the sun. And so, Rodrigo, let's talk a little bit about how you started North Optics and, and was able to make your dream come true.
Bueno, Scott, yo comencé mi afición en la astronomía cuando tenía cerca de 15 años de edad y comencé la astrofotografía 3 años después. Yo hacía mis primeras fotografías con película film de 35 milímetros con cámaras mecánicas. Esa fue la forma en que yo comencé mi mundo de la astronomía.
Scott, I started when I was 15 years old with a refractor Tasco with astronomy. And then 3 years later, I started with, I was very interested in the astrophotography. And I started with a mechanical camera with the 35 millimeter film.
Ah, okay. So that was more of a traditional way that I started astrophotography myself. Astrophotography with film has unique challenges to it compared to today's modern digital imaging. But it gives you a good basis to understand how to make a precision polar alignment and how to follow all the steps and getting a good image. Focusing is also a big problem in film photography, because often you don't know if you're truly focused until you got the image developed. And so getting a great film astrophotograph was like climbing the top of the mountain. So yes. Uh, uh, I also wanted to know how did you make the transition from being involved in your geodesic work to working full time at with your business at North Optics?
En un comienzo, Scott, y bueno, yo trabajé en forma paralela con Optics cuando recién comenzó Optics y seguí trabajando en mi trabajo de ingeniero. Fueron 2 años muy duros de trabajo en tener los tiempos para comenzar Optics y seguir trabajando en mi empleo de ingeniero.
I worked really hard for 2 years as an engineer, and at the same time working at to grow up Neuro Optics. It was a very difficult 2 years, hard working, and I had to work both, bringing up Neuro Optics and work as an engineer.
Oh yeah. You're a young, strong man, so you can you could do it. Often in this industry, to start up your own business and to and especially in the amateur astronomy business, it's not an easy business. So you have demanding customers. You have the problems with supply chain and all of this. So I can understand the difficulty, but I'm glad that you've done it, because I know that this is your dream come true. How does, let's talk a little bit also about, well, maybe it would be best to go ahead and start showing some of your presentation, because it's going to answer some of the other questions I have about astronomy outreach and things that you do with North Optics. But I also want to recognize people that are watching right now. We have Chio, who is a teacher down in La Serena, who's a good friend of yours. She says hello and saludos. And Anshul Puri, he's on board with us. And Carlos Hernandez. Carlos is a physician, and he's saying hello. Dusty Haskins, who follows these shows regularly. Very nice to have you on. Carrie Pastin Villalobos. She's watching from La Serena. We have Cesar Grollo, who's our dealer down in Argentina. David Levy, the comet discoverer. David Levy is watching right now out of Arizona. Elpis Maya Medel. She is talking about something about spending a lot of money on equipment.
She's saying that she will have
and something about a Meade LX200 8-inch telescope. So welcome. And Castro Salvador, we love you, Rodrigo. And Marcelo Rosales. Yes. So yeah, Ron Delval, who also has a following and a great following on Facebook for astronomy hardware. Boris Zepeda is signing on, and Philip McAuliffe. All the best. Clear skies and shine on, Rodrigo Zelada. North Optics is the best. Thanks for bringing specialized astronomical equipment to La Serena. Nancy Stella Lee from Bogota, Colombia. I'm an amateur astronomer. Thank you. So. And Chio, tremendo trabajo de Rodrigo. My Spanish is terrible. I'm sorry. En La Serena, en passe a través de la distribution de telescopes and binoculars. So I know that she's talking about your China North. And Boris Zepeda gives his salutations, so that's great. Okay, let's start with your presentation, Rodrigo, and thanks again for spending time with us.
Ok. Bueno, volviendo con cómo partimos con Neuroptics, fueron esos 2 años de trabajo en conjunto con mi empleo anterior, en los cuales yo comencé a hacer una forma yo tenía que hacer conocida mi tienda. Teníamos un objetivo distinto. Queríamos crear una tienda especializada en Chile. No solamente vender instrumentos, también queríamos dar a conocer lo que es la astronomía, los conocimientos que uno ha ido adquiriendo en el tiempo y transmitirle eso a las personas que vivían en La Serena y en general a todo Chile.
Okay, in North Optics, it's basically a dream come true, and during those 2 hard-working years where I have to work as an engineer, I want to create a company with an objective. It's not just sell instruments, but expand and inform and teach aspects of the astronomy, or observational and for astrophotography in our region.
That's great. Now I know that we were talking earlier about the city of La Serena and Vicuña, right, which is a small town right at the base of Cerro Tololo. And if you ever visited this little town, it's wonderful for astronomers because there are paintings on the walls of astronomical themes, and I believe many professional astronomers live in this small town because of its close proximity to Cerro Tololo Interamerican Observatory. Cesar Barolo said, "Great Spanish, Scott." No. Oh, thank you so much, man. You are so kind to me. You know, the thing that is great is that within 50 minutes of North Optics, within this dealership, of which there are only 2 telescope retailers in all of Chile, okay, you have super dark skies. So let's continue on with your presentation.
Sí, en La Serena, los grandes observatorios, en este caso la ESO y Aura, que forman Tololo y La Silla, ellos hacen actividades de difusión. La ESO hace una actividad que se llama Astro Day, en la cual invitan a participar a toda la comunidad de La Serena para que tanto los centros astronómicos entreguen conocimiento a las personas, como también empresas del rubro del astroturismo. En este caso nosotros llevamos nuestro equipo y es la oportunidad para enseñarles el uso de los telescopios, lo que se puede observar, y principalmente llegan niños muy interesados en la ciencia que son los que más consultan, personas que viven en La Serena, en Vicuña, y comienzan a maravillarse de los cielos a los cuales ellos están acostumbrados a verlos, pero los comienzan a conocer, y eso es algo muy motivante.
Okay, so in La Serena, they make 2 shows every year. One of the shows is the Astro Day, and it's on the 2 biggest observatories in that area, in which the little youngsters and all kinds of ages they participate, and that's North Optics' chance to show them and how to use the equipment. And it's very rewarding for them.
Sure, sure. So, question I have, I've also been involved in educational outreach with astronomy, and I often find that it's you are working not only to show them the equipment, which they get very excited about sometimes, but it's inspiring them by showing them what they can see, often through astrophotography. Is astrophotography an important tool for Rodrigo and inspiring these people, especially kids, on getting a better handle on astronomy?
Sí, en todas estas actividades nosotros enseñamos el uso de los telescopios a niños y a personas adultas, tanto en actividades municipales como organizadas por nosotros mismos, que llega mucha gente. En verano tuvimos una Star Party con cerca de 300 personas, donde las personas pudieron aprender sobre óptica, sobre telescopios, sobre astrofotografía. Y bueno, como siempre, los niños son los más interesados en aprender y conocer esto.
Yes, we make our own shows in our area for all kinds of ages. But he noticed that the youngsters or the kids are the ones that are more interested in this type of equipment.
Sure.
They show them how to use the optics, and they talk about optics and the equipment.
Well, it would seem unnatural to me because children are the ones who invented telescopes, 450 years ago or so. So, well, maybe not quite that long ago, but anyhow, a little over 400 years. It's great that they are so inspired. It seemed to me during my time there that the culture of astronomy was very strong in the area that I was at, and so that was exciting to me. And you combine that with the beautiful skies that Chile has. Chile has some of the best views of the southern Milky Way that you're going to find anywhere. The air's dry, it's very dark, and I know that this is a big plus for anybody doing observational astronomy, visual astronomy, or astrophotography. So let's see more about what we have here. And this is a great shot. Look at this Milky Way shot here.
Yes. Yes, en La Serena, viajando tan solo 15 minutos fuera de la ciudad, uno puede encontrar lugares oscuros donde uno puede obtener fotografías como la que está mostrando en nuestra presentación, que eso fue al norte de La Serena. Bueno, esto fue casi a 40 minutos de La Serena, cerca de una ciudad que se llama La Higuera. Y así también hacia el Valle del Elqui o Elqui Valley o hacia el sur. Cualquier lugar que nos alejemos 15 o 20 minutos de La Serena, tenemos unos cielos espectaculares que muchas personas admiran en Chile. Y bueno, lo más conocido es el Valle del Elqui por sus grandes observatorios.
Okay, that was a lot, but let's go. In La Serena, outside either north or south, either 15 to 20 minutes, there's great skies. They're the most incredible skies. This picture was taken around 40 minutes away from La Serena, but you can take this type of shots 15 to 20 minutes either to the north or the south of La Serena.
Yeah, I love this image. The composition of it is incredible. You got the southern Milky Way. You got a lineup of, along this horizon, you can see the astronomers, the red flashlights, and all the rest of it. So it's a beautiful image. Congratulations on that. Great. Let's learn some more. Oh, by the way, Chio Gallegos. Am I saying that correctly? Am I saying Chio's last name correctly, Rodrigo?
Yes, eh,
Galleguillos.
Chio
Galleguillos.
Gallegos.
Galleguillos.
Okay. All right. She says
Eh,
thank you. Thank you, uh, uh, Rodrigo, for the equipment that Explore Scientific appropriated for Astronomy Day, Astro Day at the
yes.
College Aleman La Serena. So, yeah, and I remember that program very well. So we
Sí,
also at Explore Scientific want to thank you for doing that outreach, and we hope that the kids are getting good use of that telescope that North Optics and Explore Scientific donated together.
aquí la presentación ahora puedo mostrar cuando estábamos enseñando el uso de telescopios para observación solar en el Colegio Alemán de La Serena. Una actividad que fue organizada por Rocío, o Chío Galleguillos. Uno de los telescopios que está aquí fue el que donó Explore Scientific para el Colegio Alemán de La Serena.
Okay, this is one of our visits to colleges, in specific the Aleman College.
Mm-hmm.
And in this picture, we show one of the scopes that Explore Scientific donate, and also it was the talk. It was about solar daylight observing. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Hey, before we go too much further, we did have a question. Ansul wanted to know how many minutes of exposure was on this Milky Way shot here.
This photo, the Milky Way,
Yes. Is
Sí,
that,
¿cuántos
is that
minutos?
about, as I say, 15 minutes?
30 segundos. But con una cámara Sony la tomó un astrofotógrafo de la Higuera y él nos regaló esta fotografía que él participó con nosotros en la actividad. Nosotros estábamos haciendo observación con distintos equipos y este astrofotógrafo, que se llama Víctor, recorrió el sector de observación con su cámara tomando estas fotografías en 30 segundos.
Okay, this picture was taken with a Sony camera with a 30-minute exposure, and he was basically walking, taking the shot.
He was walking. So I see. Spectacular. That's great.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Okay.
Bueno, después de esta actividad que hicimos en la Higuera, quedó mucha gente interesada y comenzamos a reunirnos cada vez más con más amigos en la Serena, hasta que decidimos formar una agrupación que se llama Astro Coquimbo. Aprovecho de saludar a todos los miembros de Astro Coquimbo que nos están siguiendo en este momento.
Okay, after this shot, we create a lot of, I'll say, commotion and interest in the community, and we start creating. After this, we start creating a group called Astro Coquimbo. By the way, I want to say hello to all the members of Astro Coquimbo.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, I think some of them are watching right now, so that's great. That's great. Mm-hmm.
Bueno, siguiendo con la astrofotografía, una de las actividades que yo realizo particularmente es la astrofotografía desde mi casa en La Serena, aprovechando los buenos cielos, y hemos logrado sacar muy buenas fotografías desde el patio trasero, usando filtros para contaminación lumínica, para polución lumínica.
Okay, in La Serena, they have very good skies. that gives them the opportunity to take urban astrophotography using filters from his backyard. And this is type of filters permits them to take with pollution.
The narrowband filters.
The narrowband.
Narrowband filters, yes.
Yes.
And
Eh,
La Serena does have light pollution, but you know, uh, the narrowband filters have revolutionized astrophotography all over the world. So it's great. It's great.
Sí. En todas estas actividades que yo realizo en mi patio trasero, mi pequeña hija de 4 años siempre está conmigo, preocupada de montar el telescopio, de ayudarme. Y de hecho ya, a pesar de que tiene 4 años, ya se sabe los planetas, las estrellas más brillantes. Uno ve cómo los niños se motivan en la ciencia.
In this backyard sessions that I have, my daughter is always with me, taking care of putting together the equipment.
Wow.
And I'm very interested that the kids are getting interested in this type of science.
Yeah. Now, I noticed that you post a lot of photographs on your social media with your daughter, getting involved. I think perhaps that you are, perhaps most interested in teaching young children the science of astronomy. Is that right?
Sí, yo veo el interés de los niños en la astronomía y en general la ciencia de conocer. Uno les abre una puerta al conocimiento a los niños y se dan cuenta que tienen mucho por descubrir.
Yes, I see a lot of interest in this science, and I want to open the door since they have a very curiosity to discover.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, kids do have a high curiosity. That's right. I think we see that everywhere too. It's when they become teenagers that sometimes we lose them for a little while. So, yes.
Sí. Ahora quería mostrarte, Scott, algunas fotografías que yo he tomado desde mi casa, con distintas técnicas, distintos equipos y de distintos objetos, principalmente de la temporada de ahora de otoño para Chile, que va de marzo a junio. Algunos han sido tomados con la PM6, que nosotros, y con distintos tubos de astrofotografía. Por ejemplo, la imagen que estamos viendo es la nebulosa del Águila.
Okay, I would like to, Scott, I would like to show you some of the pictures that I've been taking during the fall,
Right.
Which is during the March through June, I believe he said. And all these pictures have been taken from the backyard of my house.
Right. During
For
the
example,
COVID.
this is the Nebulosa del Águila.
So this image done with GSO RC8, okay, at f6. I notice you're using the Explorer Scientific Exos 2 PMC8. And something I want to point out too is that, and we talked about it a little bit early on our earlier program, where we had the open go-to community. Rodrigo and also Cesar Brolo down in Argentina, they've been very instrumental in working with us to test our mounts in the southern hemisphere. You know, the mounts actually have to track opposite of what they do in the northern hemisphere. So a lot of times there's some, when you're designing the software and the hardware, it's hard to wrap your mind around, testing in both hemispheres. It's not just an automatic kind of thing. So we very much appreciate the good work that Rodrigo and Cesar Brolo have done for us. So we want to thank you.
Gracias, Scott. Nosotros también estamos muy agradecidos de haber sido los primeros en probar estas monturas en el hemisferio sur y estar trabajando con este equipo que es realmente muy preciso. Por eso quería mostrar esta imagen tomada con un telescopio GSO que es bastante pesado. Normalmente algún astrónomo aficionado con experiencia diría que requiere una montura más grande, pero la PMSA muestra un excelente guiado, las estrellas muy puntuales, no hay deriva, es un equipo muy preciso.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate all you have done for us here on the South, and that's why I want to show you this type of pictures the Axos 2 PMC8 mount can do, because I'm using the GSO, which is 8 inches, which is a very heavy scope, and a lot of people were saying that it was too heavy for it, but as you can see, the mount is very precise and takes very good guiding.
Well, also doing a very nice image is the skill of the astronomer. So that's you, Rodrigo. So I recognize that, and you've made some excellent astrophotographs. This particular this nebula in Akia, what is special to you about photographing nebulosity like this?
Bueno, lo más interesante de esta nebulosa es poder captar la región central donde están los pilares de la creación. Yo creo que todos hemos sido maravillados al ver las imágenes del Hubble de esta zona de formación de estrellas, y poder captarla como aficionado es algo muy gratificante.
So as everybody's very excited about this picture because you've seen it through the Hubble, and to take pictures as an amateur astronomer is very exciting. The most that he likes is the pillars of the nebula.
Yeah, we call this the Eagle Nebula. Mm-hmm.
The Eagle Nebula. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, Nebulosa de Águila.
The pillars of creation are that the Hubble Space Telescope shot. So. Mm-hmm.
Sí. Voy a pasar a la siguiente fotografía, que también es de un objeto que desde acá del hemisferio sur nosotros lo vemos mucho. Es la nebulosa de Eta Carina.
I want to go to the next picture, which is very famous here on the south, and it's called Nebula Eta Carina.
Wow. Yeah, this looks like this is a very large nebula. This is beautiful.
Esta fotografía la tomé con este telescopio, con el apocromático FCD100, usando un filtro de doble banda para poder captar más detalles de las estructuras que emite la nebulosa en hidrógeno alfa y en oxígeno 3.
Okay, I take the picture with a telescope from Explore Scientific and the FCD 100, 102, and I wanted to take some pictures with the dual band filter, which gives them more detail using the H alpha and the oxygen 3.
I see. And so this was also shot from his backyard?
¿Eso también fue desde tu casa?
Sí, claro.
Yes.
Esta fotografía también es del patio trasero. Tiempo total 1 hora de exposición, usando una cámara Pentax, una cámara reflex, con exposiciones de 4 minutos para completar los 60 minutos de exposición.
Yes, I took this picture on my backyard using a Pentax K30 camera, and I did 4 minutes exposure for a total of 60 minutes.
60 minutes. Wow. I have to say, I'm jealous, okay? I'm jealous. I got to spend a few days to see their beautiful skies from Chile, and you know, Rodrigo has the best Milky Way every month, and some of the best deep sky objects. How large? How large is? I mean, we're familiar in the northern hemisphere with the Orion Nebula, which is a large nebula up in the sky. How much bigger is the Eta Carina?
Yo estimo que unas 4 veces en la superficie visible de Eta Carina en campo visual es casi 4 veces la nebulosa de Orión.
So it's about 4 times the visible surface.
Wow.
That's what he calculated.
Wow, beautiful, spectacular. Very jealous still. So that's awesome. Ansel Puri says, beautiful. He has never seen a picture like this of Eta Carina before. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in. And Rodrigo, we've had a couple other people join us, including Gary Palmer, who's watching from the UK, from the United Kingdom. So you have an international group of people watching tonight, and we all thank you for joining us. So this is our first broadcast from the southern hemisphere and from Chile. So it's great to have you all.
Thanks.
Okay.
Ok. La siguiente fotografía que yo tenía es una fotografía en la cual quiero mostrar un campo amplio de la nebulosa de la Laguna.
The Lagoon Nebula, the Trifid Nebula.
Yes, the next.
Look at the star. I mean, the forest of stars here. It's just an incredible, rich range of stars, dark nebulosity, bright nebulosity. This is. I know this is a region of star birth. What is this this kind of image mean to you, Rodrigo?
¿Me podría traducir, Alex?
Sí, claro.
Sí.
¿Qué es lo que sientes sobre esta imagen? ¿Qué te hace vibrar?
Sí, esta es una imagen realmente impresionante, poder ver esto, ambas nebulosas juntas, y los campos de estrellas, las nubes de estrellas y el cúmulo que está un poco más abajo de la trífida. Realmente una imagen que a mí me sorprende mucho verla obtenida desde cielos urbanos por las nubes de estrellas. Es algo impresionante lo que uno siente al verla.
Okay, that what impresses him the most is that it's possible to take this from his backyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without so much detail.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. So a couple of other comments here. Castro Salvador says, "Don't be jealous, Scott. You have lots of telescopes behind you. What I don't have behind me though is I don't have Rodrigo's skies. Okay." We're here in Arkansas. It's often cloudy, often rainy, you know, and I face a lot of the problems that Gary faces also in England, in the UK. They have to be very persevering and get out every clear chance they can. So Gary mentioned, he says, I need to spend a year in the Southern Hemisphere photographing objects we can't see here. You have some very nice images. That's a great compliment coming from Gary, whose images are really, I mean, just amazing. So, you know, and I'm glad that you're joining us tonight, Gary. That's great. Carlos Hernandez says, incredible and beautiful images obtained by Rodrigo of a variety of deep sky objects. That's right.
Gracias, Carlos.
Yes.
Yes. Bueno, esta fotografía fue tomada con un telescopio de campo amplio. A diferencia de los otros telescopios, este es más, de focal más corta, para que estos objetos puedan caber ambos en el campo visual. Y en vez de utilizar un filtro de doble banda, utilicé un filtro de contaminación lumínica. Solo bloquea las emisiones de la luz, de las luces de alumbrado público.
Okay, muy bien. This picture was taken with a wide field of view scope, which was just, I think it's a sharp dart, and it was taken with a filter. I think we said it was for contamination filter.
A light pollution filter.
A light pollution, sorry.
Yes,
light pollution filter.
Luminica.
Luminica, also using a Pentax K30 and the same amount of exposure as the other one.
Y si se aprecia, se logra apreciar una nebulosa, una nube molecular que une ambas nebulosas. Quizás con más tiempo de exposición se vería más, pero se alcanza a apreciar el puente que une ambas nebulosas.
And he tried to focus on or capture the bridge between the two nebulas. You can see kind of the bridge. If he spent a little more time, he probably will be a better exposed.
Oh, it's spectacular. Yeah, Amiel, who's just signed on with us, says excellent, Rodrigo. So, yeah, very nice image. Very nice image.
Bueno, también se usó la cámara Pentax, una cámara reflex y similares tiempos de exposición. Voy a ir a la siguiente fotografía que quiero mostrarte, Scott. La nebulosa trífida.
So this is, I would like to show you the next exposure, which is the Trifida nebula.
The Trifid, yes.
Trifid nebula.
Now, there is a question here before we get too far here. Ansul asked a question that we touched on a little bit. He wants to know, when you share these pictures with children, what kind of reactions do you get?
Ok. Cuando lo ven los niños, estas fotografías, bueno, cuando mi hija me ve trabajando en el computador, quiere armar el telescopio inmediatamente para ver esto mismo.
So when he's taking these pictures and her kid or his kid watches this type of pictures on the monitor, she runs immediately to the telescope to see if that's what's in the telescope.
Oh, in the eyepiece, huh? Yeah.
In the eyepiece.
It's there, you just can't see it.
Ellos sueñan con ver esto. Los niños, claro, hay que explicarles de que los humanos no es capaz de percibir esto, que la cámara tiene esa capacidad, pero que lo que se puede ver quizás como una nube muy débil en el ocular, en realidad es todo esto lo que está allá afuera.
Yes, it's hard to explain, but they have to explain to the kids that the eye cannot see all these colors and this type of images, and you need equipment to do this. But in reality, this is what it looks like.
Right, that's right. Okay, some more comments here. Ron Delval asks, has he ever used a film camera just for fun? Yes, he did, Ron. Early in the program, we talked about Rodrigo's early days as a teenager, picking up a film camera to do astrophotography when he first started, when he was about 17 years old. Philippe McAuliffe, he says, what is actually quite remarkable is the idea of being able to capture those deep sky fields from urban skies, highly bright and light polluted. With the technology at our disposal, the results are amazing. I never imagined that those kind of pictures are actually possible to be obtained from La Serena. Philippe, that is something that is changing the whole world of astrophotography and amateur astronomy. And this is something that Rodrigo can expand on, because this is something that a lot of people have come to realize during an era where we've been locked down under a pandemic and people have been restricted to their backyards. Rodrigo, why don't you talk a little bit about the technology of filters and
Yes.
being able to do astrophotography like this from the cities?
Bueno, sobre la tecnología para poder captar estas imágenes, eh, bueno, necesitamos el montaje ecuatorial para poder hacer un tracking. Y en el caso de estar en la ciudad, además de la cámara y el telescopio, el filtro que deja pasar solamente ciertas bandas de luz para bloquear la luz parásita de la contaminación lumínica.
Okay, so most of the importance that points is to have very good polar alignment, so you have a good tracking,
Sure.
and using the correct filters, the ones that you want to capture, or to filter the incorrect to filter the correct light.
Right, because of the type of light pollution that you might have, whether it's mercury, high sodium vapor lights, this kind of thing. They are in different colors. Using H-alpha type of nebular filters and oxygen-3 filters, for example, can bring out those fine details and block out a lot of the other light pollution that's out there. But I think that a lot of people are really surprised at how much detail they can get and how good the results can be. Philip McAuliffe, who made that comment, said, by the way, I'd like to state that all of my astrophotography gear was obtained from North Optics. Thank you, Rodrigo. So, yeah. So there you go. You have very happy customers, Rodrigo. You're taking good care of them, and so we're very happy about that too. Ron Delvaux wants to know, he said, have you seen the many satellites? I think he's probably talking about the Starlink satellites that Elon Musk had, SpaceX has put up. Have they been a problem?
Sí, bueno, a veces pasan los satélites y hay que descartar algunos likes para limpiar la imagen. Hay días que justo pasan satélites y esas imágenes ya no sirven. O sea, pero creo que
Yes.
están menos luminosos, están haciendo un trabajo para que no brillen tanto.
Yeah, sometimes we have a lot of satellite traffic, and those shots basically they're garbage. So maybe, Rodrigo, we should have a filter for satellites. Don't we have one?
Yes, maybe that's next. Although I know that SpaceX is doing things to change the reflectivity so that those satellites are not so reflective, and maybe would be somewhat invisible to the astrophotographer. We'll have to find out how well they do, But a lot of astronomers, both the amateur and professional community, complained about this. So, and I know that Elon Musk is sensitive to these kinds of things as well. Great. So we're back to your presentation, Rodrigo.
Ok. Ok, Scott, esta ya sería mi última imagen, que la quería compartir con ustedes también.
Wow, that's beautiful. That is really beautiful.
Del cúmulo globular Omega Centauri.
Uh-huh.
Es un cúmulo gigante, realmente todos lo observamos de acá. Desde la Serena es posible verlo a simple vista, como una pequeña estrella débil.
Okay, so this is my last image to show you as the Cumulo Global Omega Centauri, and I believe this is a nebula that can be to the naked eye.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Here in La Serena.
I'm not only jealous that he has these super dark skies, but Rodrigo has the biggest globular star cluster in the sky. Omega Centauri, and the biggest nebula, which is Eta Carina. So if you ever, any of the astronomers watching this right now, if you get a chance to go to the southern hemisphere, you need to go to La Serena. You need to visit Rodrigo. You need to visit Vicuña and experience the astrotourism they have there. And if you need help with equipment or gear or how to use it or any of that, Rodrigo's right there to help you with your exploration of the southern hemisphere stars. So that's going to be great. Next time I get down there, I can't wait to come by and see North Optics. I guess this image, is the last image that you want to show. But what I would like to know, Rodrigo, is your path in your life to make your dream come true, to start this business and to be involved in education and exploration. What does this all mean to you, and what do you hope for the future of North Optics?
Alex, ¿me puedes traducir lo último, por favor?
Sí, claro. Lo último es qué es lo que estás esperando y a dónde piensas llevar a North Optics en un futuro.
Bueno, siempre mi idea fue que hubiera una tienda especializada en Chile para todo el país, para que se tuviera acceso a distintos tipos de equipos, a distintas ofertas. Y así lo hemos ido logrando. Cada vez tenemos más oferta de equipamiento de astrofotografía especializado y mi idea es seguir así, seguir promoviendo la astrofotografía, la divulgación y que podamos tener toda la oferta de equipos para astrofotografía para el mercado chileno.
Okay. He's still focused in taking this to all the Chile community, and have the best equipment and all kinds of equipments for all kinds of types, but to grow the knowledge for everybody so they have access to it.
Yeah, I get that. Let's talk. Let's share some of the other comments that we had here on the show. There was some question about the kind of LED broadband lights that you see in a lot of cities now today. Does La Serena suffer from the kind of bright blue LED lighting that's being used in some cities? Is that a problem there in La Serena?
Bueno, en La Serena, los grandes observatorios, lo que es Aura y eso, hacen campañas anuales para hacer conciencia en las personas, una educación sobre cuidar el cielo. La importancia de cuidar el cielo en estas regiones, de que se tienen que evitar luces dirigidas hacia arriba, están prohibidas luces de ciertas características en la tercera y cuarta región, que es donde está La Serena y Atacama, y existe todo una cultura de cuidar el cielo. Eso yo creo que debía ser para todos, pero está muy centrado acá en esta zona.
Okay, since it's a very La Serena, it's a very culture with astronomy, and the observatories try to engage with the community so they don't pollute
Yes.
the skies with lights. So
Right.
it's a culture now as a tourist area, so they need to take care of their tourism.
Yeah, and their night sky heritage. So, yep, that's right. Chio says, "Wow, tremendous photograph." Gary Palmer out in the UK says that by using Sigma clipping, this is a technique in PixInsight software that's software client for image processing. He says that we have removed all satellite tails without throwing away frames. Okay, so Gary, I knew that amateur astronomers would figure this out one way or the other. So that's encouraging to know that, because the Starlink satellites are not the only ones that will be going up for global internet connection, which is really kind of the next phase of internet connectivity. Will be all satellite. Louis Pimentel says, what about, he's talking about the LED lights, and I think that we have answered that. You know, Louis, it is the support of amateur astronomy groups, astrotourism, professional observatories, and just naturists that want to protect the light pollution from destroying the night skies, which is not only important for astronomy and research, but it's also very, very important for the natural preservation of wildlife, of plants, of humans. Okay, they have linked light pollution to cancer, light pollution to human depression in human beings, light pollution and diverting bird migration paths, all these kinds of things. And if you think about light pollution as the same as you would think of sound pollution, okay? If your next door neighbor is playing loud rock and roll music all night long, well, you can call the police and say, hey, these guys are partying too late. Can you tell them to turn the music down? Well, in some communities, I think that you'll find that if you have neighbors with bright lights or cities with bright lights that are keeping you from getting a good night's sleep, and blasting light into your house and your backyard, probably will come a day where you can legally call the police and file a complaint for light pollution. I would believe that. There's lots of people here who have commented about seeing Omega Centauri. Casimiro de Reo says that you can see in Santiago, you can see Omega Centauri. David Levy is saying at this time of year, one can see Omega Centauri from Arizona. I've seen it from California too, and from Florida. So, but it is most spectacular when you're in the southern hemisphere to see it up high. Carlos Hernandez says Omega Centauri is one of the most beautiful and spectacular deep sky objects in the amateur astronomer can observe. The amount of stars visible is endless. Carlos Simon, the first time I saw Omega Centauri with a telescope from North Optics, she said she was shocked. That's a good description of it, because in the eyepiece, Omega Centauri is so large, it's mind-blowing. Ron Delvaux says, I saw it from here too. David, Fountain Hills, Arizona. Kalu Simone, North Optics should help schools and teachers like me to teach students about astronomy. Kalu, I think that is well within Rodrigo's mission and vision for expanding astronomy and science in Chile. So you should definitely get in touch with him. You could also get in touch with Gio. Gio is a teacher there and in Chile, and she could tell you about those programs. Gio, I don't know if I can read all of this. It says the Office of Protection of the Sky in Del Norte in Chile has divulged that today's regions are more important, I think, than ever for protection of the sky. Casimiro says the only drawback of local astrophotography stores in Chile are the high price tags for equipment. In my case, I have bought my EQ6R Pro mount from B&H and then imported it to Chile with tax and customs fees. The mount was at least, you would be amazed at the challenges that retailers face in keeping the lights burning and keep everything going. It is possible to buy on a one-off to get something less expensive, Casimiro, but to run a business where this is done all the time and to expand that business does require that you support the local businesses there. Otherwise, you'll just always have to go off-site and buy it without ever touching the product. And Rodrigo is there to not only sell the product, but to teach you how to use it and to get the best use out of that. So, Ron Delvaux talks about Fountain Hills being a dark sky community. David Levy says thank you. It was a very enjoyable presentation. But not if they defund the police. So I don't think the police will be going away. I hope not. And Kalu Simone says the best comment. Anyhow, do you have anything more that you'd like to say, Rodrigo, before we close the show?
Darte las gracias, Scott, a Explore Scientific por la oportunidad de esta conexión. Y también agradecer todo el soporte que nos han dado como Explore Scientific a NordOptic como dealer.
Well, thank you, Scott, for all the support, and to you and your company, and for all the support as a dealer.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're honored to have someone like Rodrigo and North Optics to be representing our line of products down there, but you know, we didn't bring this show to talk so much about Explore Scientific, but more about the important things that North Optics is doing. You are Rodrigo. You are doing things in the best tradition, and you know, if every one that has sold telescopes had your vision and your passion and your expertise, you know, so many more people would have learned about the amazing sights up in the sky and would have improved their lives vastly through the greater understanding of science. So thank you very much. And thanks everybody else for joining us tonight. And we have tomorrow night, or tomorrow evening, we've got more of the Open Go-To community, where we'll be talking about the PMC-8 and the community that drives our Open Go-To software. And we also have another dealer from up in Canada joining us. It's Ray Kahn from Kahn Scope Center. So he'll be telling us about astronomy up there in the far north. So good night, everybody, and keep looking up. Take care.